Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back. We got the Thunder Matrix finally complete. We're going to go through each one of these upgrades. I'm going to show you what all level 6 upgrades look like. I'm going to kind of give you my idea on what I feel is most important. We have made a couple videos about this already, and for those mid-tier, maybe lower-tiered players, how important the Thunder Matrix is. I'm going to show you the team that I use. We did already do a video on the actual team that I use, at least a free-to-play team. If you want to check that video out, link for that will be in the description. But I'm going to show you this same team here in a second. And like I said, I'm going to tell you which one of these I think is most important, or which couple I think is most important. If you have a limited amount of time and kind of want to max out the Thunder Matrix as much as possible. So yeah, like I said before, Static Shock is such a very valuable farm in this game for the amount of resources, for the amount of relics, ascension materials, gold. Everything that you can get from this event is so important for most players anyway. And for a lot of players, at least those players that don't have all of these crazy level 60 characters like me, I only have 4 level 60 espers. So it is kind of a challenge to put together really good team comps in order to get certain events finished. And so, yeah, the Thunder Matrix is so important for those mid-tier, lower-tier players. It'll help you improve, get, a couple tiers above what you normally would get with the espers that you got. But anyways, let's go through each one of these, and then I'll let you know which ones I think are most important, at least with the team comp that I'm using, which ones I value probably the most. First one, which is the center, and I believe if I remember correctly, you have to get this level 3 before you can upgrade any of the 3 that are around the center. But is attack up by 200, defense up by 200, and 30 extra speed. And then we got the burst matrix. Like I said, the middle one has to be upgraded, I believe, to level 3 before you do any of these. But the burst matrix is when triggering a crit, allied espers deal 1500 more true damage. Which means if you have a character like Naja that does like a crazy amount of hits and each one of those crit, 1500 true damage on top of all those crits, it could be really nice. Otherwise, gain 1 crit chance up, or crit rate up. Vitality matrix, when allied espers are attacked, if their HP drops below 50%, they have a 40% chance of gaining 1 stack of recovery. And they take 20% less damage from all enemies without buffs. Now, the first part of this is really irrelevant, to be honest. It's the second part that's definitely important. That 20% less damage when you attack, or when you are attacked by enemies without buffs. And then the third one, time matrix. Upon casting a basic ability, allied espers have a 20% chance of reducing cooldown by 1. When casting an AoE, allied espers have a 20% chance of removing all cooldown. Now, just like with the center, I believe these 3 on the outside, or these kind of middle 3, they all have to be upgraded to level 3 as well before you can upgrade any of the ones on the outside. So you can't just really focus on one on the outside and that's the only one you do. You do have to upgrade other ones at least to level 3, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. Anyway, Assault Matrix, allied espers, 30% more damage to targets without buffs. When allied espers have buffs, damage is increased by another 10%. Bro, that's disgusting. That's a whole lot of damage. Iron Wall. Upon attacking, allied espers gain a shield equal to 25% chance of damage dealt. The shield espers are immune to controls. That immune to controls part is pretty decent. The 25% shield is actually not that great. Last one, Deterrence. Upon attacking, allied espers have a 30% chance of extending target debuffs by 1 turn. When attacked, allied espers have a 10% chance of gaining 15% AP. I had a lot more hopes for this one, as I kind of hoped it would go up to at least 20%. 10% is just too low. Okay, now we're going to talk about which ones I think are the most valuable if you cannot complete the entire Thunder Matrix. Like I have, at least maybe give you an idea of which ones I personally have valued with the team comp that I do. First one I think that is most important is going to be the Root Matrix. You don't get this plus 30 speed until level 6. Plus, the center one is the cheapest. It is the cheapest at level 6. So I think the root matrix, as far as speed goes, you really need that plus 30. I think that is definitely most important. And then the second one that I would completely fully upgrade is the assault matrix. Now, like I said, you do need the ones in the middle to be level 3 before you can upgrade these on the outside. But once you get those middle ones to level 3, I think you should go after this assault matrix, because if you have the proper team comp that strips the buffs, put on buff blocker, you do a tremendous amount of damage. This 40% extra damage when you have buffs and they have 0 is so good. Okay, now I think the rest of them is pretty much going to be preference, but personally for me, what I have found that I have liked the most, I think the time matrix to me is probably going to be the next one that I would want to upgrade to level 6. This 20% chance to reduce cooldown on basics and 20% chance on all AoEs, I really like that. Then after that, I actually like the vitality matrix, but only up until you get that 20% less damage from enemies without buffs. This, this gaining 1 stack of recovery really is not important. It really is irrelevant, I think, for the most part. But this 20% less damage is definitely useful. And then I think after that, I kind of like the deterrence matrix. I don't necessarily think every single match it has been, kind of helped me determine whether or not I was going to win or lose. But extending the buffs is really useful, especially when you can apply the buff blocker. Now, once you can apply buff blocker, attack down, and things like that, those sort of debuffs, being able to extend those at the very end when you're facing the Tyrant definitely helps. The 10% chance to gain the 15% AP, I would never count on that. I mean, 10%, 1 out of every 10 times. That is just not a lot and not necessarily something that's going to really change a match. And then after that, I would go with the burst matrix, just being able to deal 1,500 true damage per crit, otherwise getting crit rate up. Like I said, if you have characters like, or espers like Najah that does that multiple attack, like 5 attacks, right? He can hit, that's a bunch of 1,500 stacks of extra true damage. And then last, we're going to go with Iron Wall. I initially thought that this would be good, but this 25% really is not a lot. I use Bastet, and Bernice, and her shield is so much more than what this can ever be. And so even at max ability, even at max level, and even on big, huge attacks, the shield is not very much. And this immune to controls, that is also nice. But I use espers that give immunity, and so they don't necessarily really matter that much. Anyway, so that's the Thunder Matrix, what I think is the most important. And if you didn't see my last video that we did, this is the team that I'm using. And surprisingly, like I said in the last video, it's 100% free to play. It is a team in which you don't have to be lucky and pull them from the record player or anything. These are all espers that you can obtain free to play. Gabby from the Fusion, Gaius, which we got for free, and then the other 3 can be found in the ripples. And 3 of them are just level 50, so they're not even leveled up to level 60. I don't even have all plus 15 gear. It's not even optimized. I don't have anything crazy or good. Like I said, I really tried to come up with a team comp that I think everybody can use, because I only have 4 espers that are legendary. 4 legendary espers, and that's it. And so I don't have all of these fancy, nice, amazing OP espers that people can use, and I'm assuming that a lot of people don't either. And so that's why I wanted to kind of come up with a team comp and then kind of show you how important the Thunder Matrix is and how big of a benefit it can actually provide farming this difficulty 10 with something with just a normal team, with just a team that's not even optimized by any means or have any special relics or anything like that. The only difference is, I guess the only thing that I really have on these is that all of them are fully ascended, and then all of them do have all of their abilities done. And so that's pretty much the only thing. Other than that, there's only 2 of them that are level 60. The other 3 are level 50. And I can farm this plus 10 or at difficulty 10 and farm it all day long and win 98% of the time. It's probably 49 out of 50. Every once in a while, going from wave 1 to wave 2, there is like a crazy occurrence of the cooldowns just didn't fit right, and the Tyrant buffed and he got all 3 of his buffs or something and just smacked me, and it killed 2 or 3 of my people, and then it was just game over after that. But other than that, I mean, you can kind of tell how powerful it is when it comes to all of the extra damage, all of the extra health, all the, extending like this right here with Gaius. As soon as Gaius pops up, we're at 50%. We're at 50% right now. He has no buffs right now, right? He has no buffs. So, and we do have buffs. And that basically took out half of his health just by 1 shot. And that is just from, what they give you. That is the Gaius that they give you. Just wanted to show you, what the Thunder Matrix will look like, and I guess the importance of it, and maybe which ones I thought were the most relevant, which ones I think you could benefit the most from if you can't complete it. Because this is fairly difficult to complete. I mean, this took me a lot of work, a lot of grinding. No joke, it did. The Divine Essence shop. Bought everything. Have tons of essence left over. Thunder Essence shop. I have almost completed it. I'll have it completed in probably by tomorrow, and then have everything done in that. So I've certainly grinded quite a bit, but I can tell you the amount of gear and the amount of ascension materials and the amount of XP and gold and all of that stuff, the amount of flawless relics that I've been able to get, so worth it. Absolutely an amazing event. A+ on everything with this. But either way though, guys, that's going to do it. Hopefully everybody did enjoy, and I will see everybody again next time. Y'all take it easy. We're out. Peace.